A private jet owned by Mötley Crüe lead singer Vince Neil veered off the runway at Scottsdale Airport in Arizona, colliding with another aircraft and resulting in a fatality. The tragic accident, which occurred on Monday afternoon, claimed the life of the pilot while leaving Neil's girlfriend, Andreani, 43, and her friend Ashley hospitalized with injuries. Fortunately, the multiple pet dogs traveling with the passengers survived unharmed. The incident unfolds. According to the Scottsdale Fire Department, emergency responders were called to the scene around 2:45 p.m. Mountain Time after reports of a Learjet 35A veering off the runway upon landing. The aircraft then crashed into a parked Gulfstream 200 business jet, causing extensive damage to both planes. The exact cause of the accident remains unknown as investigations are still ongoing. A statement released by Mötley Crüe on X/Twitter confirmed the devastating loss of the pilot. Earlier today, a private plane owned by Vince Neil was involved in a crash near Scottsdale, Arizona. The pilot was tragically killed. The co-pilot and other passengers were taken to local hospitals, the band wrote. They reassured fans that Vince Neil was not on board at the time of the crash and expressed their condolences to the pilot's family. Vince's girlfriend and her friends suffered injuries, albeit not life-threatening. While details are still emerging, our hearts go out to the families of the pilot who lost his life and the passengers who suffered injuries, the statement continued. The band also announced plans to support the deceased pilot's family financially, stating, "Mötley Crüe will announce a way to help support the family of the deceased pilot. Stand by for an announcement very soon." Vince Neil responds. In the wake of the tragedy, Vince Neil's legal team, Warwick Robinson Law, issued a statement reiterating his sorrow over the incident. At 2:39 p.m. local time, a Learjet aircraft model 35A owned by Vince Neil was attempting to land at the Scottsdale Airport. For reasons unknown at this time, the plane veered from the runway, causing it to collide with another parked plane. Neil's lawyer added, "Mr. Neil was not on the plane. His thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved, and he is grateful for the critical aid of all first responders assisting today." The Learjet is registered to Chromed in Hollywood, a company linked to Vince Neil, with a principal agent listed as Neil himself, according to records obtained by WTVF. Emergency response and investigation. Scottsdale Fire Department Captain Dave Folio confirmed that emergency crews responded promptly to the crash site. "We had 5 patients we treated. 1 was a fatality, we had 2 immediate that were transported to local trauma centers, we had 1 delayed patient, and 1 patient that refused treatment," Folio reported. Firefighters worked diligently to remove the pilot's body from the wreckage while ensuring that all survivors received necessary medical attention. Footage obtained by AZ Family captured the Learjet skidding off the runway before colliding with the Gulfstream 200. Images shared on social media displayed the wreckage, with both aircraft severely damaged as first responders swarmed the scene. The Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) confirmed the details of the crash, stating, "A Learjet 35A veered off the runway after landing and crashed into a Gulfstream 200 business jet on the ramp at Scottsdale Municipal Airport in Arizona. We do not know how many people were on board. The FAA is temporarily pausing flights into the airport. The FAA will investigate." Aviation safety concerns. The Learjet 35A is a twin-engine business jet widely used for both corporate and medical transport purposes. Aviation experts have noted that while the aircraft has a strong safety record, runway excursions, where an aircraft unintentionally leaves the runway, remain one of the most common types of accidents in aviation. Runway excursions can occur due to multiple factors, said aviation safety analyst Mark Dobson. These can include pilot error, adverse weather conditions, mechanical failures, or even issues with air traffic control instructions. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, will lead the investigation alongside the FAA to determine what went wrong in this specific case. History of similar aviation incidents. This tragic accident is just one of several aviation disasters to have occurred in recent months. On January 31st, a medical transportation plane crashed in Philadelphia, killing 6 people on board and another on the ground. Additionally, the nation experienced its deadliest air disaster since 2001 when, on January 29th, an American Airlines jet collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter near Washington, D.C., killing 67 people. In another recent aviation catastrophe, a Bering Air flight carrying 10 people vanished while flying over Alaska on February 8. The aircraft, a small commuter plane, was later found crash-landed in the Bering Sea. All 10 victims perished, marking yet another heartbreaking aviation disaster. ###The future of the investigation. Authorities have begun piecing together the events leading up to the Scottsdale Airport crash, analyzing flight data, weather conditions, and pilot communications. "We're gathering as much information as we can," said NTSB spokesperson Danielle Miller. "Investigators will be looking into the aircraft's maintenance records, the pilot's flight history, and air traffic control logs to establish a clearer picture of what happened. A preliminary report is expected within the next few weeks, though full investigations of aviation accidents often take months to conclude." Moving forward. For Vince Neil, this incident marks another tragic moment in his life, following previous personal and professional struggles. The rock star has yet to make a personal statement on social media, but his legal representatives have assured fans that he is deeply affected by the loss of life and the injuries sustained by those close to him. Mötley Crüe fans worldwide have expressed their support for Neil and the families affected by the crash. Many have taken to social media to share their condolences and hope for a thorough investigation that will bring clarity and justice to those involved. As details continue to emerge, the aviation community, safety regulators, and the general public remain attentive to the findings of the ongoing investigation. This tragic event serves as a stark reminder of the importance of aviation safety and the risks that even well-maintained private aircraft can pose in unpredictable circumstances.